Hey guys, welcome back to all new Super Metal Brothers review. I am Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dan.
Today we are talking about Morton's Anesthetic album. It was released a little before this date, but we thought, well, let's get onto it and see what we have to say about it, because I'm sure I'm interested to hear what I have to say about it. Danny, I'm sure you are too. Interested in what I have to say about it.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent.
That's why I'm here, man.
This album here is not Lamb of God, mostly.
Yeah.
Mark Morton, as known as the prominent guitarist, one of the main songwriters for the band. Lamb of God, if you don't know who they are a half sludgy stoner metal band, half thrashy
groove metal
band as well. You know, they're a hybrid and it makes them unique and interesting. And this is not that album much. It is Mark Morton, though, talking a little bit about it. And I guess before we review the album, we should take a second to talk about what he has to say about the album.
Yeah, okay. Makes our job easier.
Now, Anesthetic is just a little more rock than the music I guess I'm more traditionally known for Lamb of God, which is like thrash metal album, extreme metal. Thanks for agreeing with me
there you
as
go.
well. I appreciate that, Mark.
Should have read that beforehand.
The solo project kind of digs into my influences in terms of classic rock, blues rock, and it's hard rock, heavy rock. He didn't say country music.
It's
okay. It's a little bit more melodic than Lamb of God anyway. I guess a little bit more conventionally arranged. It just kind of explores my love of hard rock music. The songs themselves are collaborations with pretty extensive lists of artists I admire and fans and friends of both. I've really worked with a large number of people. Most Lamb of God albums are typically done with a band and producer, so it's 6 people's input. This album was just myself and a producer, kind of mainly being the creative directors. Then we had all this input from the amazing artists that we brought into the fold. It's very collaborative, diverse, and dynamic.
Sure.
That should really be a look through the window, or peek through the keyhole to what this album is going to sound like. And if that doesn't give you a clear image, let us help to arrange that for you as well. Let's talk about the album, Danny. What is it about this album that got you interested, or that separated itself from Lamb of God?
Well, like I said, the first couple of songs have that Lamb of God-y feel to it. It's probably about 4 of the songs. The other 10 songs are Lamb of God-ish, which is fair enough. That's where he writes. That's his style. Yeah. So it probably feels more comfortable going back to that. But to me, this album's pretty much like a concept album. Yeah. Because you have so many different singers, and like each album or each song is trying to match that singer, which is fair, because that's why you get that singer to sing that song. Or maybe
the singer to adapt to the song rather than writing for a singer.
Yes.
What do you reckon? Could be one or the other, who knows?
Yeah, it could be one or the other. Or the singer comes along and says, let's change this to, like he says, a bit collaborative. And I feel like that's what's kind of happened with this whole album.
I think the strongest parts of that working is, in fact, the first track with Chester Bennington. That track is probably the standout track for me off the album. I even like the songs, including, well, obviously that was Cross Off I'm talking about, but I also like the one, The Never, from Chuck Billy, which you agree, was your favorite as well. And I think the Miles Kennedy track, Save Defiance, also really worked well. The most metal track on the album, I think, is the one featuring Randy Blythe from Lamb of God and a little-known singer from Arch Enemy. That's just The Truth Is Dead, and that is Alyssa White-Gluss as well. Now, she's using the abilities and effects more from the Agonist. She doesn't do much of that singing at all with Arch Enemy, but it's a great effect in this track, and it works really well. She is a good singer, even if she doesn't like photographers very much at all. What about the album that you like, Danny, before we talk about some of the other things?
Well, the album's like, it's got a song for everybody out there. There's so many different styles in there. Like, he does have a big, like, new metal-y sound when it comes to this. There's a couple of rap singing dudes.
Mostly the choruses, I feel, are very much home in the pop rock environment, absolutely. They're very strong, very simple for the most part. And they work really well to keep you hooked and engaged, especially tracks with Miles Kennedy, how they're harmonizing a lot as well. Yeah. And even tracks later on as well. There was one there with the lovely singer that she managed to do really well with Reveal, that jazzy song. Medoc. Yeah, that was where her abilities and her harmonizations and the call and responses. There was a lot of work done for guest vocaling on an album, so I will credit that where it should be credited.
Yeah, but I wasn't happy with that song's second half, because the first half was like full jazz lounge cabaret style song, and that's cool, like do what you do with it. But then he felt like, I guess he had to go back to the rocky side. The second half of the song he made a bit more rockier, and it just didn't fit. So that song was fine as it was. The second half doesn't.
I think one of my minor gripes from the album as well is that for the most part the singers tie together really, really well. And I know a lot of fans are going to hate me on this, but track 3, featuring
full country one,
the Mark Land again. I know he's probably some sort of like prodigy in the country world, but I just thought his vocals on it were a bit too dry and a bit too raspy and I guess the raspiness would have worked really well, but there was just not enough urgency coming out of it than other songs, and the amount of talent from the other singers on this album really overshadowed him. There are great country vocalists out there. I'm sure that would have sat better So I wasn't too sure of that. And also that's one with track 9. Yeah,
boring.
Track 9 was a filler for me. And the reveal from Naeem Maddox was very much pulled. It was almost Disney, like that for the album that was pop. This was like a teeny style, even with the licks and the riff sounding pretty interesting and and engaging. But not all this album is. I think it starts off very strong. Yeah, there's some great tracks, and the performance from the singers are great in the first 5 mostly. And towards the next half of the album, I did find myself. Like he said, the formulas were very much safer, and it was all about bringing the singers in. So, and it's all about whether you like the style or not, and it's really not much else, I think.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, because there's so many different styles of singers and so many different styles of songs. Like you have country songs and like new melody, and then there's like an 80s type of hair melody type song at times. I think it was track 8 there with track 8 was 7, was it?
Yeah, one of the features of this though is Mark Morton's playing, where he's using Middle Eastern sounding chords, those groove laden abilities, or just kick-ass solos there in that bluesy country sort of vibe, and that's his strongest asset, is the way he actually uses his guitar to tell a good story and to play the right notes, do the right things, even when a lot of guitarists will be doing the things faster. He's definitely doing what's right for the songs and helping them engage into a greater track. So that is, for me, one of the strongest things of the album, definitely, was that Mark's performance. His ability, obviously, to write different songs is actually impressive. I just found that for some of it, I did kind of tune out. It just became, the formula's a little too safe, and some of the vocalists towards the second half weren't as strong as the ones at the start. And overall, I did see myself getting a little bored towards the end, especially with track 9 being obviously just a bit of a filler for me.
Wasn't quite needed. Yeah, and because, again, it sounded more like a soundtrack of a movie, because there's so many different styles in it. Like we said, he did give him credit. He did a decent job. That so many different styles. The songs were decent, but you're right. Some did get a bit too safe.
I agree. I don't think it's mostly for a movie. That's the problem I found with the album. I found that certain tracks that could fit into movies really well, or episodes. I mean, there's those country tracks that could be on Sons of Anarchy when they're in their black, quite easy, and some of the tougher riffs are just good landscapes for a fight scene in a Fast and Furious like catalog. I just found that all these parts together didn't tell a story at all, which I don't think he was trying to do. This was really about playing with awesome musicians and telling great songs. And I think for that, this fan service here is what it's all about, and that's really working for me. Is that if you wanted to hear how Mark Morton would sound like in bands such as with Miles Kennedy, with that kind of stuff, this is going to get you, really, really interested. Like, oh, now he's an Alter Bridge for this song. That sounds interesting. I wonder what it would like if he played with Tremonti. And that for me is what perked my interest up with this album, is that it did actually satisfy me with those kind of collaborations. Oh, what would it like if he sounded with the guy from Testament? Oh, you got that track, So
if you ever like a Mark Morton fan and you want supergroups, have you always put like a supergroup idea? Well, here's your chance to put him in each group to see where he fits best. I actually like track 5, Safe to Find. That verse had a very strong Perfect Strangers feel to it. Yeah. Oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah. Best tracks off the album for me: Cross It Off, Save Defiance, The Truth Is Dead, and Sworn Apart. Unfortunately, the worst for me, Reveal, Back from the Dead, and Imaginary Days. Just felt like a little too much for me towards the end. It got me a little out of it, and I was wishing for more of that heaviness, because I guess when it hit Lamb of God, I was digging the shit out of it. Yeah, really good. And when I wasn't, I was still enjoying it for most of the part, albeit for 2 vocal performances. I thought it was a fairly good time.
We never know, like the new Lamb of God album, he might go down that path, put more melody in it, because the last track with Randy, he got Randy on his song. That's amazing. How do you get Randy?
How do you get Randy on that, man? Like, he must have opened the door and just yelled it out.
That's right, from the next recording studio. Yeah. But like Randy actually did a bit more like clean vocals, like he's been doing lately. So the next Lamb of God album, which I think is coming out next year, I don't know,
who knows?
Might have a bit more melody in it, might have a bit more rockiness to it.
All right, and all in all, I'll give this album a solid 3 stars out of 5. I think it's solid for the most part and really enjoyable, especially some of those dynamite collaborations, especially with tracks 1, 5, and 12, and I think it was 4 as well. Really enjoyed it, and that for me just eclipsed these tracks over it, and tracks that I think honestly are some of the best tracks I've heard in 2019. When it falls though with the other ones, it just becomes like boring and just a little tedious in my liking, especially because I'm a guy like this who can write those awesome songs. It just fell a little flat, but the world's better for this album being in it.
Wow, that's very profound. Look, again, This album, because it's so different styles, you really can't play the whole album and probably enjoy the whole album because it's just a bit too off. So you probably play 3 or 4 songs and that's about it. You can get off this album. And look, unless you like just him and everything he offers and you're like one of those massive fanboys, then you'll love this album. And I'm saying all these wrongs I shouldn't say. But I'll probably give this a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because it's just, again, good at times, well. a bit mediocre at times. Yeah. But, you know, that's how it is when you want to express for yourself and get all your interests and all of your like past experiences. What made you a guitarist out there? That's where you get.
Well, guys, let us know what you guys think of the latest Mark Morton Anesthetic album. Feel free to leave it in the comments. And until then, I am Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dane.
We are the Super Metals. Thank you guys so much for checking in with us, and we'll catch you all next week.